the Grammys airing last night, hosted by Trevor Noah. Uh, a lot of the awards got given out beforehand. So the
So
first
stupid.
hour was just performances, which is, I mean, fine, but this is a 3.5 hour award show. Why?
Yeah, maybe I'm just too old school, but I like seeing people win awards and then give an acceptance speech. Doing like one or two an hour, that's tough, man. It's like 3 hours and 40 minutes. The show
Yeah.
is not short. And it's all, I mean, yeah, say you give every performer nominated for like record of the year, or song of the year, whatever, you give every one of them a spot. There's still a lot of fat you could have cut out and actually gave out awards. I found it rather insulting that only one rap category was even on the telecast.
Hmm.
Everything else is given out ahead of time. And it's not that they just announce, they do give it out and like the person like walks up and wins it if they're there, but it's just pre the start of the real telecast. I don't understand that.
Yeah, I do think some of the performances were really interesting and enjoyable. I just felt like the pacing of it was just so off. It got to like the 10:30 mark, and I was like, "We've seen I think two awards to this point. Like, when is everything going to be given out?" And backloading it, especially with these bigger awards. I mean, how many people probably stuck around? I know I turned it off around 11 and just kind of kept up with it through Twitter as I got ready for bed. It was just
Mm.
it's too much.
Yeah, I ended up doing the opposite. I didn't watch the first like 90 minutes
Mm.
and missed very little. Especially because a lot of awards I was really interested in were given out ahead of time.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? Like, why is Best New Artist not done on the show?
I have no idea.
Especially when you're giving it to Megan Thee Stallion. Like, what the hell? Oh, man.
um, she did receive the award on the show.
Did she?
Yeah,
Was it
Megan Thee
record of the
Stallion
year?
got it. Yeah, I
Okay.
remember very clearly because I saw Phoebe Bridgers and her, and I was like, "This is funny that
It
they're up
wasn't
for."
like from earlier in the day.
No, it was actually
Okay.
that one was given out live, but yeah, like for example, there were like Kate Tronada. I know that Best Dance Album is almost never given out. It's like the first time a black person has ever won Best
Yeah.
Dance Album. It's like
Yeah, he won too.
how are you not like highlighting this? And I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's tough. I can't get best rap album not on the show, the most popular
Stupid.
music genre. That is ridiculous.
And Nas wins,
And
right?
that's the thing. They've done it before on the show, but that's when they nominate Drake or Kendrick or someone more famous. And it's kind of shallow, like recording academy tricks. It's like, oh, no one's really tuning in. No, look at Nas and Freddie Gibbs and D Smoke and Jay Electronica. So we'll just do it ahead of time. But like, it's just completely out of touch.
Yeah, it's but meanwhile, Beyonce gets shouted out 100 times for breaking the Grammy record, which I'm not in any way bashing Beyonce. She's an amazing artist. I do just want to say only one of those awards is in a big categories, which
Yeah, she's
was
never won album of the
single
year.
ladies. So
People know.
it's tough, but yeah, I mean, I I felt pretty satisfied with a lot of the awards given out last night. There were some that were like very Grammys picks. I mean, her for
That was ridiculous.
what? Like,
That was ridiculous.
to be honest, I think I
Her
listened to that
wins
song.
for
Yes,
record of the year, song of the year.
it was song of the year for "I Can't Breathe,"
Yeah, and
which
I get it. It's a vote for the sentiment.
yes,
I understand that. That is not a song people listen to.
no,
It's not even a song people were super ecstatic about.
mm-mm.
Think about Little Baby's The Bigger Picture, which he performs on the show and has like really impressive production design
Yep,
accompanying it that just has completely nothing to do with the song itself. Like that also kind of rubs me the wrong way. It's like Little Baby was getting credit for not saying anything on the song, and then you have Killer Mike like legitimizing him when we could have just nominated something actually radical and meaningful like Run the Jewels in the first
yeah,
place and let them perform.
yeah.
You know, there's a few things, and like the her pick. Come on, man.
I know, like it,
Like
it
I get
seemed
you're voting for the sentiment, but it's awfully shallow because it's not music people like or thought
right,
was that great. Like her is a
and
really talented person, multiple instrumentalist. The Grammys love her. I understand why they love her, but song of the year, it's ridiculous.
yeah, and we got a similar thing with record of the year. I felt like with Billie Eilish winning
Mhm.
everything I wanted, which again, not taking anything away from them as as performers or artists. Billie Eilish, we stand. I mean, we
It's a good
loved her
song,
last album. Yeah, it's a
but
really good song. Record of the year though?
no.
Come on, no.
And you could tell how surprised Billy and Phineas were when they won. They're like, "What the fuck?" You know,
Yeah.
they were there to win for the James Bond song, which
hmm
they did. No Time to Die, hilarious because that movie is not out yet. That was fine. That was good. She was clearly the pick in that category.
hmm
She did not need to win for everything I want. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, pretty crazy. Meanwhile, Megan the Stallion won for Best New Artist. I believe she also won for. Hold on.
Uh, Raps, rap duo performance. She won for Savage Remix, I believe, twice.
Yeah.
Also, best rap song.
Yes. So you know, shout out to her. She's great and gave a performance that I think should have been no show for work, but primetime TV got the ass clapping. Shout out to her, man. Like her and Cardi B, her performance made me feel like I was on drugs. Phenomenal, good stuff.
Yeah, very Chromatica vibes, to be honest, with the
Yes,
aesthetic, which was great.
loved it. Any other performances that from the night that really stood out to you?
For bad reasons, I think DaBaby and Roddy doing Rockstar stood out because it's another example of the Grammys not treating rap with the right amount of respect. They're dressing up this song with a chorus and this like weird cadence, like a hymn. For what reason? You can't just perform the song as it is, as it actually exists. Why are you doing this to this song? As if to class it up for the telecast. You know, I find that insulting. I do think in parts it was kind of cool. I thought DaBaby did well. I thought Roddy in general was a little off all night. I don't know why the hell he closed the show with a really weird medley. Like of all the songs to pick, I was like, if you're going for that slow vibe in the beginning, why didn't you perform like War Baby or something that has a chorus in the first choir in the
Mhm.
first place, right? I thought Roddy was a little off all night, especially having him anchor it again. Like there's just fat on the show you can cut, you
Mhm.
know. Um, I mean, I thought Harry was a little flat with Watermelon Sugar. His win was a
Really?
surprise,
Yeah,
but
big
he that was a
surprise.
little flat too. Like he's better than that.
Yeah, I liked the vibe they were going for, but also, I recognized Dev Hines playing bass and found out afterwards that Dev Hines arranged the whole thing, and I was like, oh yes, this is art. Now I understand it. So I'm just like totally brainwashed. I'll admit that. A lot of the songs kind of were toned down in some way, or like taking an interesting like perspective. I mean, we got a whole Taylor medley. She won for album of the year, Folklore. Just like, man, I don't know. Future nostalgia was right there, and Dua Lipa gave a freaking awesome performance. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm less. I'm not. I can say I'm mad about Folklore winning album of the year. Like, obviously, it wasn't my pick, and we haven't talked about The Weeknd, who also would have been my pick if he
Of
had been
course,
recognized. He was not recognized at all.
right?
Uh, Funny enough, Zayn is also trumpeting the crusade now against the Grammys in terms of transparency and
Our
and all
guy,
that. So that's probably the most remarkable thing I would say Zayn has done of late. So I'm happy he's doing that. Keep it going. And again, it has nothing to do with his music. It was not eligible for this period. But
Mhm.
and being a public figure, going after the Recording Academy, it's kind of pressure you need. Apart
Yeah.
from you need it from more people. That's good. Um, but yeah, I mean, obviously, I want to do the win. I thought it was going to happen too when she wins pop album. Taylor
Mhm.
was like 0 for 4 to that point, and I was like, huh, wow, they're actually really going to do do Taylor like that, huh? Have her show up, have her perform, have her sit there, and then win nothing. Wow. But in the
Yeah,
process, she becomes the first woman and only fourth person ever to win 3 album of the years.
pretty
So
crazy.
I can't. I mean, it was the most significant of the surprise drops and the quarantine albums in 2020. It's also like best awarded rewarded as an album than I think any individual songs that have been nominated. So
Mhm.
I'm not super mad about it, even if it wasn't my pick.
No, I'm not mad about it. I just wish Dua had gotten that one, but loved Dua's performance. I thought she was great. Also, BTS, so fire. They're just the best
Yeah,
performers out there right now.
that's the thing. They're just so good. They've been doing this for so long
Mhm.
that they just knock everyone's socks off. Like no one dances better than like obviously
No.
Cardi and Megan doing what they do aside. Like no one's on BTS's level when it comes to just choreography and
No.
performance. or like that, you know. Um, in the future, I hope that BTS and other artists like Bad Bunny and Burna Boy can be recognized
Mhm.
in bigger categories and not just relegated to genre. That's the next step we need to see.
Right.
So more
Yeah,
to come, hopefully.
and in my mind, this whole thing has an asterisk because, like Dave said, the weekend totally snubbed for no apparent reason.
Not that he needed to win everything. That's not the way it goes. But the fact that you don't recognize the critically acclaimed album that's also super popular, made by a famous person, reeks of similar corruption charges we've heard about the Golden Globes recently.
Yep,
And it sucks. And now he says he doesn't want his label to submit him anymore. That's a loss for the Grammys, full stop. You know,
totally.
you already have Frank Ocean not submitting. Like this is bad.
Yeah, and I mean, not to like even rain further on the parade, but another winner that would have been a big profile name, Fiona Apple, chose to sit out the Grammys this year, and she won for best rock performance. Was nominated in I think two other categories. So
Yeah.
you already have people that don't want to be there, and you just keep isolating more and more famous people. Just they're going in the wrong direction, in my opinion.